We're jumping into mental health and Jesus. The reason why I felt this on my heart was we know there's been a spike on mental health, right? So ever since COVID 2020, there was a massive spike. Being a pastor in the local church, you start to really see a lot of people's struggles and what they go through. And something that is very common at the moment is mental health. But first, let's look at what is mental health.
It's very different from like our physical body. When you break your arm, you've broken your arm. Probably need to wrap it up in a bandage. Like it's very obvious. When you think of mental health, it could be almost anything. I can't just open up your brain and go, oh, you're sad. It's a process where you have to like talk about it. You got to think about it. It's not black and white because it's like, oh, well, I can't see it, so it mustn't be a thing. It mustn't be real. Well, it's like, no, it is real. It is a real thing that does affect you. But we can't deal with it like a broken arm. It's going to be dealt with in a completely different way.
And everyone's is unique. I've heard Craig Rochelle say how you deal with addiction. You can apply it the same way to mental health. Something that I always say when I'm helping people who struggle with addiction, as I've struggled with addiction in the past, I had to realize that it's a fight and it's not something I just get through. When that temptation comes, your battle or your struggle or the thing that you got to try and not do is think of it as something you just have to put your feet in, buckle down and just get through. It's coming. It's a tsunami. I just got to hold on for dear life. That's not how you deal with it. You got to fight it. So the best way for you to fight it, you got to know your enemy and you got to actually have a name for it. So if you're struggling with addiction, then you got to go, okay, I have an addiction with pornography. I have an addiction to this. I have an addiction to substance, whatever it is. So with mental health, you have a temptation to fall into that way of thinking. If you struggle with depression, you have a temptation that you have to face every single day to think of yourself negatively and think of yourself harshly. But the way we fight that is very similar, is we fight it. We don't just get through it. That was the point in my life. I went through a really tough time of anxiety and depression after I gave up my addiction to pornography. I had to learn to fight what I was fighting, not just get through it. Paul says, I fought the good fight. I ran my own race. I think the big part we got to get to is we got to realize that this is a fight. This isn't just mental illness that you just struggle with and you just got to survive. That's not how you go through it. You got to fight it.